So Madison was late. I was 41 weeks pregnant, and I had an appointment on Monday, and I was already set for an induction on Thursday. So I went to my appointment on Monday, and they said that the fluid in my placenta was it was low. And so they said, you got to go to the hospital now. It's time to give birth. So I freaked out. Yeah. Right. Right. Where did we go? And then we got to the hospital. Now, the hospital I was supposed to deliver at was full. So they sent me to their sister with Kaiser. So I just went to another Kaiser hospital. And I was shocked. I was already emotional. I was freaking out. The hospital I was supposed to deliver at, the room was huge. Remember, it's during COVID, so I couldn't leave the room. It was nice. But then we got to this hospital. It was tiny. We couldn't leave the room because of COVID. We're stuck in there. It was horrible. Yeah, almost. Felt like it. So I was crying when we got there. I was overwhelmed. So the first thing, they were checking to see if my body was ready. It was not dilated. Then they gave you medicine called, I'm not sure if I'm going to spell it right, but it's called, no, it's short. It's Cytotec, I think, with the C. I'm not sure. They gave you the pill first, so that's supposed to help start the labor, I guess. So that was at 7:38 at night. I can't remember the time. So they gave me that medicine. And then, oh, do you remember they had to do the COVID test? That was honestly the worst part of my birth. The hardest part was the COVID test, because in the beginning of COVID, they shoved that thing all the way up there.
That's okay. That's okay. Stay with me here. Yep.
There you go. Okay. Woo! I don't. No. Stop. And then I'm like, why not? Isn't he going to take a COVID test? They're like, no. They said, stop. You're wasting time. They said, we just needed to do it on one of you. I said, why me? Why couldn't you do the COVID test on him? I was so mad. So then the next morning at 10, they're like, okay, your body's ready. Let's start you on Pitocin. I'm like, great. So they did Pitocin, and then the contractions started. And I was originally I wasn't planning on getting the epidural because I was scared of it. Not because I cared, but mostly because I was scared. But then I was talking with him, and I was like, I can't do this. This is painful. He's like, just do it. Get it. It's okay. So they kicked him out. Luckily, there was another nurse there. There had two. And I was like, can you please hold my hand? Right. Yeah. Yeah. They were getting ready for the epidural in my back. They numbed everything, and then I'm waiting. I'm squeezing the nurse's hands. And they're watching the monitor, waiting for a contraction to start, because they do it during a contraction. And so I'm holding nurse's hand, contraction comes. I'm are you guys done yet? And they're well, yeah, we've been done, already, it's done. I'm are you kidding me? I didn't feel it at all. Again, the COVID test, the worst part of birth. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? It was horrible. It had to go all the way up to my brain. So then at 7:30 that night, they brought us to the delivery room. And then you almost missed the birth. Do you remember that? What were you doing? Yes. He went to the bathroom. we couldn't yell at him. I couldn't yell and be like, we're almost there. Stressing me out. Pushed for what, like 30, 40 minutes? She was out. We had our beautiful baby girl. Yeah.